What is up, and welcome to the Elite Athlete Project podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick Leiden.
And I'm Robert Squires, the other guy.
And on episode number 5, we are going to be talking about the Elite Athlete Project 90-Day Challenge, or EAP-90. And this is something that me and Albert have been wanting to create for a while because it's such a hole in athletes' games that I think not a whole lot of... when I was a high school athlete, I had no idea about this. And it wasn't until I became a business owner as I realized how critical this is to your success, and I wish I would have had something like this
for sure
when I was growing up.
For sure. I mean, it's our habits, our routines, and the consistency in those habits and routines that are going to create the results and essentially put us in trajectory whether we're going to reach our goals or we're going to veer off left and end up in no man's land, you know? This is super important. We focus on all the key metrics, essentially, very basic things too. It's nothing intricate whatsoever, but it keeps your mindset around the present and the future.
Yeah, because I think too many times as athletes, we dive into the latest and greatest training, or what foot drill or this am I supposed to be doing, or what's the newest diet trend, keto or whatever it ends up being, right? That we get too hyper-focused. But if you look at the athletes who are great, it's the ones that are able to consistently do the same thing, the basics, the mechanics, over and over and over and over again. And ultimately, those things add up 1% better every single day to become those great athletes.
Yep. This is going to get you in that mindset. It's going to get you focused on what's important in your life and keep you focused on those things. One of the things with these challenges, what they help to do is that hyper focus, because we're pulled in so many directions in life. Yeah. There's so much thrown out of us. Social media, our friends, our family, everyone telling us what to think, what to do when we know these things. And that's what the EAP-90 is going to do for you. It's going to get you hyper-focused.
Yeah, exactly what Albert was saying. So we really built this into a 4-phase program because what we saw out on the market, and I'm not going to, a lot of this, I think what Andy Friselis did with 75 Hard was great, but... Yeah. Going through it and seeing, just working with other people who have done it, it was that 75 and then done, basically. But what we wanted to do for our athletes is we wanted to build a program that would progressively stack and build upon each other so that you're keeping these habits and routines for a lifetime. It's not just a finite amount of time where you see some results and then you just revert back, right?
Yeah. Basically what Nick's saying, 75 Hard is a sprint.
Yeah.
Meaning that once you're done, you're cashed and you don't continue. You might take certain aspects or whatever it is. We wanted to build a challenge that created habits that you can maintain short and long term. So we took the best of whatever 75 Hard is. Of course, we engineered it a little bit directed towards athletes or anybody that's competing in life. We made something, again, that's achievable and sustainable is one of the key things.
Exactly. I almost don't even like calling it a challenge because it's really about building those habits and the mindset of the athlete, right? The mental toughness, the consistency, the things that are going to go into this. But I think for viewers, challenge is something that they can easily grasp. And
it will be initially.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're changing things in your life. And whenever we're making any type of change, we're going to get some friction. So it happens,
Yeah. So a little bit of that grit comes into play.
Yeah.
But we're going to dive into each phases and what really their primary goal of each phase is. And then we're going to go into what's included in them and kind of bring this to fruition for all of you. So really the first phase is really short. It's about 14 days, or it is 14 days and 2 weeks. And it's really about building those base of healthy habits and starting to develop that consistency and discipline without overloading your system too much, right? We're going to start to get the ball rolling and eventually stack on a little bit. So,
right. And the focus initially is health metrics. Mm-hmm. Again, because when you're healthy, you're able to do a lot more things. You're able to manage more stress. You're able to manage more on your schedule. So that's why we chose these 4 things as our initial ground. And we also give you 2 weeks to ease into it. It's not... 1 second you're doing nothing, the next second your ball's to the wall. We wanted a gradual thing because, again, we're creatures of habits, and if we have too much friction, we're not going to commit,
Yeah. And the first thing that me and Albert really talked about when we were developing this first phase is, because nutrition is super important, right? But I think so many athletes out there have no idea nor concept of what they're actually putting in their body. So rather than have you follow a super specific diet, we want you to get to know what's going in your body, because that is what's going to help you the long term with your metabolism and recovery and everything that's going in. So starting off with the first phase, you're tracking your food, and you're tracking your food every day. So everything that's going into your body, whether it be water, coffee, all the different fruits and vegetables, or maybe not so great of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the goal is to just start tracking. It's not to say, hey, you are doing bad or good, right? It's just to start to understand what's going in your body so you can become more aware eventually of how those things impact your day and where they're going with
For sure. You're going to start to see things lined up because, like Nick said, we're creating that awareness now to what food we're putting into our body. And now you're going to start being aware of how you feel day to day depending on what you put into your body.
Exactly. And that's going to be consistent throughout this whole thing. It's going to be 90 days, and we're just going to stack on top of that with the tracking.
Yes.
The next thing we're going to start off with is you're just completing one 45-minute workout.
We're real quick.
Yeah.
Now, for tracking food, you could either use MyFitnessPal is a simple one. I think there's another one called like Chromio or something.
Chronos, I believe, is one too. The one that we prefer to use is called Avatar Nutrition. It was actually built by an athlete, and it does a lot of great things for you because it kind of takes the macro counting and all that stuff out of it. It just does it for you.
Yeah, and it's got this super retro look to it, this vibe. I mean, it's super easy to track. The one thing that I like about it compared to MyFitnessPal is it adjusts according to how, because this you can put your weight in and stuff, but it adjusts to basically how you've been eating because it's looking at your averages, and also to what you've been weighing, because depending on what your goal and what direction you're being, like this one incorporates refeeds, which is super cool.
Yeah, it really does.
MyFitnessPal, you're just tracking, which is fine, but this one's a little more interactive, does a little more for you.
Yeah, so say, 1 week you undereat a bunch and you lose a bunch of weight. It'll be like, hey, hold down, that's a little too much. And then it'll bump you back up to keep you back on track with a nice sustainable approach, which is kind of the whole theme of this.
Yeah, so if you guys want to use that, I mean, we'll leave a link and stuff like that in there. But those are the different ones you can definitely use. But yeah, the 45-minute workout.
Yeah, 45-minute workout. Now, this can be a gym session. It could be going for a walk. It could be going.
It's additional activity.
Exactly.
It's something on top of what you normally do that is engineered towards your health and fitness. So that's why a walk is totally fine. You just need to get some movement where you're doing something for 45 minutes.
Yeah, we don't care if it's indoor, outdoor, or anything. I just want you moving some way, shape, or form, keeping your body healthy. With it. It could be a mobility stretching session. So if you went to the gym, 4 days in a row and you're like, oh, I don't know if I could hit another gym workout. Don't just go recover and stretch and take some time off recover for yourself.
And now this is one of the biggest things with 75 Hard I had issues with.
Yeah.
Is the fact that 2 workouts a day for X amount of time, 75 days plus, is just insane. I mean, you don't have time to recover. You're breaking down your body, and you might feel good for that sprint, but that's not sustainable. No one's training 2 days a week or 2 days a day.
Not like an athlete.
Not like an athlete, no. So, I mean, that's why we wanted, again, something that's sustainable. Then the next thing, of course, to go hand in hand with that is drinking water, increasing your fluid intake. Yes, this is super important. The simplest way to think about water, all right? Think of all the things that are in our body. What takes up the most of it?
H2O.
H2O, baby. That's at any given time, it's like 45 to 60% of your weight is strictly water.
I hope it's not 45%.
Yeah, 45 means you're dehydrated, but I mean, your body can fluctuate. That's why you have some of these fighter athletes that are able to cut so much weight. It's water weight. But this is super important for, I mean, your function as far as energy. It helps with so many different things.
I was telling Albert probably about a week ago now about one of my clients I had, and he's a big coffee drinker, big energy, drinking bangs every day. Coffee. Yeah, right. And then I told him about what I do. So I basically wake up in the morning, I try to chug about 32 ounces of water, like first thing in the morning. And he did it for the first 3 days, and he came back to me. He's like, dude, I feel like I'm like on crack or something. Like he didn't need any more coffee or anything. So if energy is an issue, it's probably a water issue and you're dehydrated.
Yes. A lot of times we'll experience hunger because we're dehydrated. Again, because we want sugars, we want something to give us energy, but usually it's related back to dehydration. It's the same thing with like coffee. Even if you enjoy coffee, like say I do and stuff, it's going to hit so much better if you're drinking water with it. I'm just what it is, you know. You're going to realize too that you're not going to need really coffee as much because it's just going to bog you down. Honestly, the water it just really helps, you know, so much.
And for an athlete's perspective, as little as 1% decrease in your hydration levels could lead to 5 to 10% decrease in performance. And
big time.
If the name of the game is getting better, like you need to maximize that potential output performance that you have.
And it's the number way we detoxify our body. So any type of toxins in our body, fluid is one of the best things for you, H2O.
Yep, and the last one for phase 1 is just weekly weigh-ins and photos. So the 3 before were every single day, daily, right?
Yes.
Daily tracking food, daily workout, and then a daily drinking a gallon of water daily. Now the next one is weekly, right? Because we don't necessarily need to be getting super crazy hyper focus on the scale or anything like that, but we do need to practice measuring the results that we want, right? So we need this is a weekly weigh-in and then a weekly photo, a progress photo.
Yes.
Whether your goal is to build muscle, maintain, or to lose weight, the goal is dependent upon you. It's just making sure that we're tracking our progress and tracking those metrics.
Right. And then the one thing too is like we talked about is you're thinking long term with your goals here. So when you go into this, prep yourself, have some goals out for you, and work towards those goals. You know, use these 90 days to really boost yourself in life and get you into the direction you want to be going. You know, but the next thing we go into is phase 2. This is a 3-week phase because now we're going to be adding in some other stuff in there. What things we looking at right now, Nick? Sorry, got a mid-chug.
I know. So I really like this phase because it's definitely a big jump up for your mindset and creating morning routines and habits for yourself. The tracking the food is definitely going to help with consistency. That's going to be tough for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then
let's not say tough. Okay, the reality with tracking food is it's new. But with these food trackers, they're going to start remembering the foods you eat the most often. So it's going to be very easy to start tracking those things. And basically, you only track whatever new stuff you eat each day. And again, with the tracking, guesstimation. If you don't have know what the food is, guesstimate. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're creating awareness.
I'm glad you corrected me because nothing is ever really hard. It's just new.
Right.
And it's hard is what you make it.
Remember, change causes friction. So if things are uncomfortable when you're trying to change things, you're probably doing the right things.
Yep.
I mean, there's going to be some friction there, you know. But sorry.
So the 3 things that we're really adding in phase 2 are all about mindset and developing yourself as an athlete and as a person, right? So the first one is starting to read a little bit, right? Reading 10 pages a night, something simple, something that's only going to take you 5 to 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And it could be anything around self-development or something that you truly have a passion for. Because we want you to grow and develop that knowledge in the things you're really passionate about. Yeah. So for like me, when I was younger, I was always reading about the newest like workout program, how to get better, all the different types of stuff. So if that's like you spend time reading, that's for sure. Totally okay.
Read something that's going to help you grow.
Yeah, in whatever direction you want to take your life.
It could be personal development, it could be business, it can be sports specific, health related, or whatever. Whatever you find interest in, just dive into it.
Exactly. And now the next piece is journaling. And the reason we really want to bring some journaling in, and this isn't like a diary.
We want you to get in touch with your thoughts, okay? Your inner child.
No, how I see journaling is basically taking what you envision for yourself and putting it on paper. That's all. Yes. That's all it really is for me. So I mean, I keep it really simple. I bring it back to basically like 3 things I'm grateful for a day.
Yes.
And you don't need to get super deep into thought, right? Just to be the first thing that pops into your head. Yeah. And it can be reoccurring. Like I'm grateful for my family.
Yeah. I'm grateful for my dog. You know.
Right? No, I write that a lot too.
I write Luke all the time.
It's just getting you to appreciate more things in your life and get you out of somewhat of if you are in a negative spiral, to pull you up to that positive environment and positive mindset.
Yeah. And it could be the simplest thing is I'm thankful for the air I'm breathing today.
Exactly.
I'm thankful I'm upright and not in a wheelchair, you know, because there's people that don't have the opportunities you have and they were born that way, you know. So there's always something to pull us out of those situations and really get positive and be in that good place, not only for ourselves, but those around us as well.
Yeah, because getting into that right frame of mind sets you up for the entire day. It really does. It how you handle your problems. Or you can do it before bed, because there is science that's shown that practicing gratitude before bed helps increase overall REM and things like that. So if you want to get that performance, practice your gratitude. And then finally, the other thing that we do within journaling is just write out your goal, right? So we have each of our athletes and every person who's joining us on EAP-90 write out some pretty in-depth goals for themselves in the beginning, and we just keep hammering and keep hitting those every single day.
Yes.
So you can stay top of mind, stay focused, stay directed in the right path.
For sure.
With that.
So the one thing with journaling, what's so beneficial to it when you're writing gratitude, things that center you, when you're writing your goals, things that keep your vision locked in on where you're trying to go, is when you're doing these things, the reason why it's so effective, you can believe in law of attraction, you can believe in not, but what it does is it opens you up to opportunities. A simple way to think about this, when you see, say, like, back in the day, they used to have Volkswagen cars. They were the bug looking things, right? When you start, say you get a Volkswagen car, all of a sudden you're going to notice Volkswagens all over the place, okay? And then all of a sudden, like, say I used to work at a company called Cintas. We had mats on the ground. I've never walked into a store, ever looked at any damn mat. But the moment I worked there and I was aware of what mats were, where they went in businesses, I started noticing where mats were, what company they're from. They just open you to these opportunities. So say if you're trying to achieve something, all of a sudden now, it's not like these opportunities weren't there before, but now you're going to be aware. So when that person comes that's related to where you're trying to go or that connection you're trying to make, you're going to be aware to it now. You're going to be open to it.
Yeah, so if you guys want to research what Albert's talking about, it's called the reticular activating system.
Boom.
Boom. Go ahead and Google it.
Boom.
Yep.
That's a first one for me. I've never even heard of that.
Now, the next piece that kind of wraps up this whole mindset and setting your day up for success is meditation. And before you're like, no, I don't want to do any meditation, I'm going to bring this home for all of our athletes out there. How many times have you heard your coach or anyone say you need to be taking mental reps, like on the sideline or wherever you're at? Take mental practice. Where's your first step going? Where's your hands going? How are you crossing? Whatever sport you're doing, right?
Yes.
So the research, there's plenty of research that's been done about mental imagery and mental practice. And that creates a physical change in your body and how your central nervous system adapts and how your muscles fire, right? So it's an imaginary practice that then translates into something physical in nature. And in an athlete's perspective, it's how your body moves and how well you're coordinated and what decisions you're making, right? You're preparing yourself for that previous. Same thing with your goals and visualization, all that stuff. Whereas visualization is like, I'm going to achieve X goal of making it to the NFL or getting a Division I scholarship or stuff, right? It's taking that same concept and it's just applying it to different goals outside of it, but it's the same system working.
Right. And one of the great benefits to meditation is it slows things down. We're in the 21st century where your phone is going off all day long. You're getting hit with notifications. Everyone in your life is trying to pull you away from what you're trying to achieve. This is 5 minutes where you let everything go. You clear that mind so that you come out of that with a clean slate. Of course, it's going to take you some time to get to this point, but you'll come out of that meditation, that 5 minutes, clean slate, refreshed, ready to tackle life, clear-minded. And this is huge because as we get older and older and we're flooded with more and more, it's just we're more easily distracted if we're not doing these types of things.
Yeah, if you've ever felt like you did a lot in a day, but you don't know what you did or get anything done, that's because you were not focused. Your energy was dispersed everywhere instead of honed in and focused on a few things. And meditation will help you get honed in and focus on those few things that matter to you.
Yeah.
Which are the goals that you're writing down every day.
So again, then phase 2, read 10 pages. Journal, you're going to write 3 things you're grateful for. You can write them whenever. Like Nick said, probably before bed is ideal. REM is where we develop memories. That's where you work and improve those skill set and movement patterns he was talking about. The next thing is we're going to write out those goals and we're going to meditate for 5 minutes. This is phase 2. This is for an additional 3 weeks on top of, again, phase 1. So we're stacking now, okay? And then phase 3, sir.
Phase 3 is going to be the largest, the one after this in the 4 weeks. So this is a 4-week block. So we're still tracking food. We still have the 45-minute workout, drinking a gallon of water, the weekly weigh-ins, the pages, journal, meditation. But now we're going to add a little bit to the journaling with it. So with this, right, so we just talked about visualization, getting yourself set up, but nothing happens without action, right? That's the missing half of a lot of this. We can't just say my goal and I visualize my goal of making $1 million company or going to the NFL, but if you don't do any of the work behind it. This is the action behind the vision that you have that'll help you get to where you want to go. So that's why we have weekly planning with tasks and objectives in this one. So where you're going through your week and you're saying, okay, my goal is to work out do 3 strength training days this week. Okay, what are the tasks or what are the objectives that I need to do in order to make that happen? So I need to set my alarm on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6:45 a.m. to get up for it. I need to make sure that I call X friend to get me a ride to the gym, right? So we're starting to take the plan. We're planning on bringing those goals to fruition for ourselves, and this is something that'll be really beneficial for you throughout your entire life.
For sure,
with it,
and it helps too, because when Nick was talking about before in the previous phase, where you get through the day and not know what's going on, now you have key direction to each and every day, to that week, what you're trying to accomplish, and you'll realize that you didn't get any more time, but you're going to start to get more done because the focus and the awareness is there.
Exactly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add one more 45-minute workout to this. And this, again, I highly recommend that this is like walking, getting out of nature, or if you're an athlete, this is like an evening stretch mobility routine. Yes. This is not another full-blown workout.
No.
This is something that's directed at basically calming the central nervous system
recovery,
down. Yeah.
So like another thing too is like you could do on the walks is you could throw on a podcast, EAP-90, or I'm sorry, the Lead Athlete Project podcast, or you listen to a book, something. It's a great time to just free that mind, or you use it to grow. But like Nick said too, just rolling, mashing out those muscles, stretching. Use this as a time for recovery.
Exactly. Yeah, and that is really phase 3 wrapped up in a nutshell. This is going to be a phase where you're really going to be developing a lot of mental...
we didn't talk about... the one other thing outside the planning and objectives is one daily reflection.
There you go. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so one daily reflection of how you could have been better that day. It could be a single moment. It could be a big thing. It could be a small thing. But just a reflection in the sense of like you're going through your day and being like, all right, where can I be improved? Where's that 1% better at?
Yeah, so those tasks and objectives. I know I've done this for myself, is where I think I'm going to get through like so many things. I'm like, I'm going to crush it today. And then I get through half and I'm like, okay, my reflection, Nick, let's be a little bit better about time management and some of these things in an appropriate workload balance with all of this. So that reflection piece, yes, it could be about those tasks. It could be about the workout that you had. It could be about the running that you did. It could be about
a conversation you had with somebody that went not the way you planned,
Exactly. It's just one piece of yourself that happened during that day that you would have or think you could do better in the future, and write out how you think it could have went better. So that way, when it happens again, you're better prepared. You won't have that mental practice in there that we kind of talked to and alluded to a little bit before.
Yeah. So you get 4 weeks with this, and again, we're adding 3 things there: the weekly planning, task objectives, one daily reflection, and then one more 45-minute workout of some sort, getting that movement in. And then the last one, phase 4, for another 4 weeks to come in for the home stretch. We got the white flag out, last lap.
This is the last stretch. This is where you're going to really solidify all those habits, routines, because I'm sorry to say, but really developing consistency in habits, routines, rituals, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't happen in a month. It doesn't happen in 2 months. It really takes a minimum of 90 days. That's why we have this so much further, so much longer, because we want these skills to develop over the long haul. It's why we progressively add a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more.
Yes. And to ease up the level of adaptation and everything on everybody, Again, when you want to change things, it's easier to kind of switch things in and out here and there versus change up the whole approach, But yeah, this one's an easy one. 3 daily tasks. But the difference here is at this point, we expect you to complete it. You just had a month planning out your week, seeing how that goes, seeing what you can handle, seeing what maybe is a little too much. And now you choose 3 critical tasks, going back to those goals, what's going to move me that 1% closer?
Yeah, what's going to move that needle forward for myself?
Yeah, it could be having a conversation with somebody. It can be completing something. Say maybe your elite athlete project program that you should be working out with, huh? Or, whatever it may be, something that gets you moving forward and makes you better.
Yeah, I mean, Albert hit it on the head. These are 3 non-negotiable tasks.
Non-negotiable.
Right? And you're going to go through the days and you're going to get these done. That's the whole goal. This is like the creme de la creme of mental toughness. Like,
yes,
I said I was going to do this. I
committed to something.
I said I was going to do this. I haven't gotten it done. It's 9:00 at night. I need to be a man of my word, or a woman of your word, and live up to what I said. Because we're going to teach you not to lie to yourself right now. No. We're going to teach you to be confident in yourself right here.
Yes, and confidence is built in those moments like he was talking about. When you get through these 90 days, I mean, you're going to be pumped. You're going to carry these things over, and you're going to want to continue doing a lot of these routines and habits because you're going to see the positive impact and how focused and driven you were during those 90 days.
You're going to be a completely different person.
Yes.
Like, you're going to be on top of the freaking world. You're going to be so confident in yourself that you're going to be successful.
Yes. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And that's the biggest thing right now is most of the things that we're doing within this program, basically all of it is creating awareness around the things that are important in your life, your goals, your desires, what makes you happy, what makes you tick, what is your conflicts in life, where are your speed bumps that you need to work through. It's just going to create so much awareness. You're going to improve the relationship you share with yourself, and that's huge because you can carry these things for a lifetime, honestly.
Whatever you end up doing, wherever you end up going, these are all going to translate to that.
So where can we find EAP-90? How can I get some more info? Maybe some PDFs. I could throw some stuff online.
Yeah, so get some resources.
Brag to people about what I'm doing in my life.
Yeah, so if you go to our Athlete Academy Instagram, so it's at Athlete Academy _, in our highlights section, there's going to be templates for you guys to download the resources.
It's on both our TikTok and Instagram, actually.
Both of them. So you'll be able to click into the little link that has all the links. You'll just click the link that says EAP-90, where it'll take you, and you'll be able to get all this stuff as well.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, and then that's where the resources are.
We want to make sure we're giving you guys everything right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at my notes for the people who are listening right now and can't see me. But other than that, we want you guys using the EAP-90 hashtag and the hashtag Athlete Academy, because we'll be going in there checking in on all of you. That's where you can see the other athletes and other people that are doing this alongside of you to help us support and encourage one another, share workouts, whatever you guys want to do. Speaking of workouts, if you guys don't have a workout plan or anything like that, you can use our it's Elite Athlete Project program.
Yeah. And this program, honestly, again, it's engineered towards athletes, specifically football players. But if you're somebody that simply wants to move better, look and feel better, this program is going to work for you. We have this thing loaded up. There's so much coaching. Mm-hmm. There's so much support around it. I mean, we also have a community outside. It's just also to give you something to do if you don't have anything to work towards. If you're an older gentleman like us and you want to become a beast again, I mean, this is the program for you too.
Yeah, so in that one, you get 2 weeks free.
Yeah.
You get all your testing. Those first 2 weeks, you get so much coaching around your technique and stuff like that that'll prepare you for this whole 90-day program that we're launching for you guys. So other than that, is there anything else you want to talk about with this?
No, I mean, I think we got a lot across. Just it's better than 75 hard. I'll tell you that right now.
For sure.
Way better than 75 hard.
I'm going to tag Andy for selling on this.
Let's go, Andy. Let's go. I mean, Andy can't even finish his program the second time through, third time through, fourth time through. I lost count of how many times this dude's failed.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Not looking too hard right now. I'm just talking shit, guys. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm not sorry.
Whether you find this on YouTube or if you're listening to our podcast, go make sure you're following us on TikTok. Go make sure you're following us on Instagram. So that way we can stay connected with all of you guys. You can always send us DMs, ask us questions, things like that.
Bug us.
And this is for you guys. This is for the athletes. This is for the people that want and need some sort of kick in the rear end to get them back to where they know that they truly are, to live up to that full potential that I know all of you have inside of you. So this is the program for you, and this is the sign that you need to get after it. Sign up today And I'll see
we're
you
on
in
it
there.
right now. Me and this guy are already going through it, so we'll see
Already
you on the
feeling
inside.
better.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Later.
Peace.